Hey guys, we just need to have a little chatty update about life and what all is going on right now. I haven't been on in a while. Granted, by the time you guys see this, I've got like 3 other videos I need to post, so but I have taken almost 2 weeks off, I think, at this point. My grandma did pass away, as I've talked about in the other videos. Sorry, I feel like there's just no good place to do this. My kids are at home and they're like being loud, so inside's not working, and then the outside's not too bad right now. It's not too windy, a little here and there, but I hung up some wind chimes that I cannot reach to take down, and they're making noises, so hopefully this isn't too bad for you guys. But anyways, my grandma did pass away. And so with her passing, that puts us in limbo with where we live. And I think I'll make a whole other video going more in detail about that situation later, because that's going to be like a whole thing in and of itself. But long story short, she was on Medicaid, and originally we thought that when she passed, the house would just go to my dad, no problem. Well, we always kind of knew there might be a problem, but that'll be, long story short. So we assumed the house would go to my dad, no problem, and then he would sign it over to us. Now we're realizing that likely won't happen due to the housing market. The value on the house has gone up, and we believe that Medicaid is best case scenario. They're going to say that we can live there for free, but if we ever decide to sell it, they're going to want the money. And worst case scenario, they're going to say buy the house or sell it and get out. The issue with continuing to live here for free is that the house needs some work. And if they're going to let us live here for free, I did some reading online, and it mentioned something about if you're a dependent, like a child of the person who owned it, or if there are children in the house under 21 living there, Medicaid a lot of time will let you live there for free. But if you sell it or rent it, they want the money. So the problem with doing that is that the house needs new windows. We only have a handful of windows in the whole house that open, and I think there's like 11 windows on the house, and I think 4 of them open. So we need like all new windows. The siding of it needs to be painted. It needs a new roof. It had a 30-year roof on it, and that was put in like 25 years ago. So we need a new roof. Needs new gutters. The basement gets a lot of water in it, so it either needs to get like a sub pump put in, or there's ways that you can dig down around a foundation and put in a sealant. But if you do that, I don't know what a sump pump is, but to do the digging down and stuff, I've heard can be $10,000 to $13,000. The house needs a lot of work, and the estimated price on it right now on Zillow is $58,000, which I know in a lot of places is dirt cheap. And as is, the house is livable. We've been here for 6 years. It's comfortable. Yes, it needs some work, but it's not, the worst thing in the world. But when you take into consideration how much money it's going to cost to do these fix-ups, you're going to be hitting like the 100,000 plus range if we buy the house and do all the work. And we don't want to live here for free, do the work, and then try to move someday and not be able to get anything out of it, so that's kind of the part that sucks. And some folks who are new to this may say, well, just buy the house then, $58,000, super cheap. And you're right, it is super cheap on a house. Even in this market in the middle of Indiana, that is still really cheap on a house, especially one that is move-in, livable as is. The problem is those folks right there. All day long, those people. The neighborhood in general. I was out here with my kids the other day just trying to enjoy the backyard, enjoy some sun, and they're outside, F you, F this, blah, blah, blah. And that's all the freaking time with those folks, except for the middle of winter, which I'm guessing they're doing it inside. And then the folks behind us like to yell and scream at their children a lot. Sometimes we've been questioning if we need to call somebody about that, because it pushes abuse, in my opinion. Just the things we hear them yelling. And there's also a homeless camp at the end of the street, and there's a lot of questionable folks up and down. So I just put on lotion on my face and I look like a greased pig. Hello, I'm probably gonna get a tan while I'm out here, not intentionally, but It's a rough neighborhood, y'all, and it only gets rougher. There's actually a house that I'd love to go and look at. It's $100,000 for this beautiful old Victorian home. It looked like it was well taken care of. It's like 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, full basement, beautiful home. It's in an even rougher neighborhood than this one, and it's right down the street from a liquor store, which we currently are, and that attracts a lot of questionable people. And it's also down the street from a strip club, which we don't have near us currently. So, you know, big beautiful home, crappy neighborhood. So, which is why I think it's listed at $100,000 and it's been on the market for so long, because nobody wants to live over there. So that puts us in a tight spot of, are you gonna move or not? And if you guys have been here for a while, you know that almost since last fall, we started talking about it last July, but we got our pre-approval for a mortgage last October, which is now lapsed, and we had to go get pre-approved. We started looking and talking about getting a house, and we're buying a different house because we kind of decided, you know, this is not it for us, which really sucks because I love my grandma's house. There's so many good memories here. Both of my dad and my aunt were born and brought home to this house. My boys were born and brought home to this house. Like, there's so many memories, so many Christmases and time with my cousins and my grandparents, and just so much good stuff that happened here. But, and if it was just me and my husband, it'd be a completely different story. We really wouldn't care. Yeah, it's annoying, but like, whatever, we're adults. It is what it is. But we have little kids, so we don't want to expose them to all of this worldliness, if that's how you want to put it, a polite way to put it. I can't tell you how often my oldest boy asks to go play in the front yard. We have a large front yard, and I'd love for him to play out there. And sometimes we do play out there, but there's just as often that I take him out there and there's questionable people walking by and he's wanting to talk to them. And I'm like, no, we're going out back. We're not staying out here because you're going to invite somebody up in our yard that we can't get rid of. Like, something sketchy is going to go down. So it just really sucks. It just sucks. Like, so it's also in a bad school district. And we were already decided that we were going to drive him to a better school district for both the boys. My youngest isn't old enough for school yet, but my oldest starts kindergarten this year. He did go preschool here at the school district, and his preschool teacher has been lovely, and our thoughts on it were like, it's just preschool, for one, and for two, we had a complete mess up there, which I feel like I'm just dragging things out, but we thought he was accepted into one preschool, and then like a day of, or like the day before school started, I finally went up there because I never got our registration papers. Forget the fact I'd called them several times and they kept saying, they'll be in the mail, you'll get them, never got them. Maybe it was like a week before school started, but it was like pushing it. I finally just went in and I was like, hey, we haven't got our papers yet. You said he was accepted. And they're like, oh no, he's on a waiting list, he didn't get accepted. So then I'm like, well, crap. So then we had to like try to get him a place, and he ended up on a waiting list at the school we wanted him to go to. And then the school we didn't want him going to, they had an opening, and we're like, well, it's just preschool. So he's been going there all year, which has been fine, but we have had problems. We've had bullying issues, and I'm like, it's freaking preschool. Like, why is this a problem? And apparently there's kids in his class who have bad home lives. And again, I think it's just a big part of it. It's just where we live. It's just not good quality people, and I hate to say it like that, but it's very much the truth. And if you guys have watched my bad neighbor story time videos, you know, because it's not just them that are the problem. There's other people in the neighborhood that are questionable at best. So that brings us down to, what are we going to do? Are we moving? Are we not? What's happening? And here's the problem. The market is so hot right now that every house since last October that we have tried to go and see has sold the day before or the day of us getting an appointment to go and look at it. Most of them have been on the market for like 3 days tops. So we currently have an opportunity to go and see a house that is in our like third pick neighborhood, which is pretty good. The worst part about it is that it is such a drive. It is literally in the boonies, middle of nowhere. It's a tiny little town that has a stoplight, a gas station, and a fire department, and a post office. Like, it's just this tiny little town, and it'll take us 20 minutes to get back where we live now, or it'll take us 10 minutes to get to the next tiny town. It's just literally in the middle of nowhere. So backcountry roads, like middle of nowhere. So, but there's just nothing else available. And we just so happen to be privileged enough, I guess, that this house that's coming up for sale is next door to one of my friend's house, like right next door. She'll be our only neighbor on that particular side of the street. And it's we've only seen it from the outside. We're going to see it tonight. It so happens that the lady who lived there ended up developing Alzheimer's and had to go into... I'm squinting so bad, I'm going to give myself wrinkles. Do you guys see that setting in? Oh my gosh. Y'all know I haven't had Botox because my face works. I'm looking like Tammy from that 600-pound. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah. The lady who lived there developed Alzheimer's, had to go into a nursing home. Her son has been cleaning the house out and was planning to list it in May. My friend was talking to him, or at least her husband was, about everything going on. And originally he said he wanted to sell the house for $78,000. That would cover the $10,000 left on their mortgage and give the rest, would just be money in their pocket, I guess. Well, they hooked him up with who happens to be our realtor, which was their realtor too. And she's actually my cousin's aunt, which is why we're working with her, because she's family. And so he's working with her too to list it. And so I went directly to her and I was like, look, this is our situation. Is there any chance that we can go and see the house before it hits the market? Because it's turning into a thing of like, if you want to get a house, you look at that Zillow listing and you put it in an offer. Like they're all like sight unseen offers at this point, I feel like. I was even talking to a different cousin about everything, and she said, yeah, she had a friend who had to put in an offer sight unseen, and then when they finally got to go in and see the house, they dropped it because like it was not what that was listed. It had some problems, or maybe they ended up buying it and finding out there's problems, but they didn't get to see the house. They had to do a sight unseen offer. So we have an appointment this evening to go and look at this house. We're excited about it. It is, again, like I've only seen the outside of it. I've never seen the inside. The backyard is about the same size of what we have now. It's a little bit smaller. And it's 3 bedrooms with a loft upstairs. Like you go upstairs and I guess you go to like a loft area, and then there's 2 rooms upstairs. And then downstairs is your master, and then it's got 2 bathrooms. But the weird thing is like one of the bathrooms is like normal, has like a toilet and a sink and a stand-up shower. And the other bathroom is, and I guess it's right off from the first bathroom, it just has a soaking tub and a sink. So a little weird, but potential. And I was trying to look up the price on Japanese toilets last night, because I was like, if we could just take out the sink and just put in a Japanese toilet, which has like the little hand washer on top, a little hand washer on the top, like, hey, I just want 2 toilets, okay? So we're pretty excited about going to look at it tonight, and it's not on the market yet. So that kind of gives us, you know, a bit of an edge, a bit of a privilege, the fact that we can actually go and see it. They want $120,000 on it, which I don't think is too bad, especially considering the market. And I mean, we were hoping to go down a little bit, but our real estate agent was like, I would try not to do any lowball offers, just because, you know, we see how quickly things are selling. He's going to put it on and it's going to go. So we actually had an appointment to see 2 houses, because today is Monday. It was Saturday. I seen a house in our second choice neighborhood. There's 3 neighborhoods we'd like to get into. A second choice neighborhood is on the south side of the town we're on now. It seems everybody wants to go out there. It's funny because when I was a kid, like, nobody wanted to be out there, and now everybody wants to be out there. But cute little house, 3 bedrooms, actually had a dining room. A lot of these houses in that neighborhood are tiny cookie cutter, like under 800 square feet houses. This one's over 1,000. It's right about the size we have now. Right now we have 1,075 square feet. The house in neighborhood number 2 that we wanted to look at is 1,088 square feet. And in case you're curious, the house we're going to go look at tonight is 1,900 some square feet. It's almost 2,000. It's like just shy of it. So bigger house, which is nice, and a good price. Anyway, regardless, talking about house in the second choice neighborhood that we want to get into. It's sold. I just got the call this morning. It's under a contingency. It was on the market for 3 days, which seems to be about the average. And my real estate agent said that we can still go look at it tonight if we want to, but that they've raised the listing price. So they wanted $120,000 on it, and if we were interested, we would need to go higher than that, because we're assuming probably what it sold at. So it kind of feels like this house out in the middle of nowhere is kind of like our only option at this point. Like everything sells before we even get a chance to go and see it. And the only reason we're getting to see this one is it's not officially on the market yet. So, and the reason we're not looking into renting is, one, the price of rent around here. I mean, on average, a lot of the houses, I'd say about 120, 130 is about average for an older home. You know, that's about average. That's gonna put our estimated mortgage or monthly payment at about I can't remember if 758 or 785. Dyslexic. But yeah, so that's what it's gonna put it at monthly. And rents around here is comparable. So it's like, well, we could either go buy a place that we're investing into our own, you know, property, or we can go rent and put money in somebody else's pocket, you know, which are benefits to renting, but we'd prefer to own. Not to mention we have 2 cats and a dog the size of a moose. So most places around here will allow you 2 pets if you're lucky, and dogs have to be under 30 pounds. Our dog is like 65. So, you know, there's that. And we really don't want to give up Yoshi. He's a fantastic dog. So that's kind of where we're sitting at, is we don't know what's going on with my grandma's house. We really don't think the inheritance is going to go through. If it does go through, then well, I guess we'll put it up for a rental, is kind of where we're sitting at. But we're pretty sure if we like the house we're going to go see tonight, that we're going to put in an offer. So kind of crazy, kind of scary. I don't know about affording it. I was so close to just quitting my job that I had. I really don't want to be there anymore, and I was really close to quitting, but I stay with it because it lets me be with the kids Monday through Friday, and my husband's with them on the weekends so that we can avoid putting them in daycare. And I'm only so against daycare because I had to do daycare as a kid and I hated daycare. So we're really trying to avoid them being in daycare, but I might have to go get a full-time job. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I'm definitely going to be not quitting the job I have now. I haven't worked there in like almost a month. My boss is fantastic. It's just kind of been not making me work if I don't want to. It's kind of nice. I'm going to have to get a hold of her, tell her I need back on the schedule, because, yeah, I'm just going to be a fixture there. I'm going to be there forever. So that's kind of what's going on. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the little catch up. I thought it would take me longer to say all that I had to say. There will be more videos coming as things play out, but hopefully I won't be too spotty with everything. Hopefully I can be consistently posting. I need to start editing things and getting things ready to go. Like I said, I got 3 videos prior to this, and so by the time this goes, I should have more information on what's happening with my grandma's house, so there'll be a full video on that. And then if we do move, I'll do an empty house tour of the new house, and then I will also do a furnished house tour of my grandmother's house, because I've never done one, just for safety reasons. I don't want to do a furnished house tour of the house I'm living in. But I mean, the house is so small, if you watch my vlogs, you've pretty much seen it all anyways. But if we're going to be moving out, I'll go ahead and do a comprehensive walkthrough of it being furnished, and then I'll do an empty house tour of the new one if we buy it. So yeah, this just kind of feels like this house is our best option. It's in our price range. It's ready to go. It's turnkey property and nobody living there. Yard is about the same size as what we have now, a little smaller but not by much, and good school district, and it's a bigger house, which, I mean, who doesn't want a little bit of a bigger house? So yeah, that's gonna be it. So thanks for hanging out with me. If you are new, I know I didn't address it in the beginning of the video, but my name is Cristin. I'm a lifestyle vlogger. This channel has a lot of different content, so I hope you pop on over and take a look around, see if there's anything else you'd like to watch. Maybe hit the subscribe button. I love to connect with you guys in the comments down below. I definitely try to get back. I know sometimes it takes me a little bit, but I always try to respond. So go leave me some comments, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It just helps with my engagement. I hope to catch you guys in my next video.